are on to our final interview with Crystal. I'm so excited to chat. All of you ladies have been super amazing. Y'all just, I love you guys so much, each and every one of you. And so, Crystal, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. We don't want to say anything here. Introduce yourself, name, location, business, and how long you've been in business.
All right. I don't know why for some reason that song and it's up and it's stuck. It's like in my head. I'm like, that's what I was jamming to right before. So y'all don't think I'm crazy. But so my name is Crystal K. Potorial, and the name of my business is K & Co Creative Designs. And I've been in business for almost 7 years now. So I've been in DTP for a year and a month. So because I think it was last May when I had joined. So I've been in for a while, and yeah, I'm excited to chat with you guys and just tell you about the transformation and hopefully, make you see how this is worth it.
Right. Okay, so let's dive in. Tell us, okay, you're almost on right at year 7. What did your design business in your life look like pre-DTP?
So prior to DTP, I definitely remember that my very first website that I designed was for $75. And it's so funny because the lady found me because apparently I knew some things about SEO, but I was literally putting into my keywords like cheap website design and things like that. So that's how she found me. And her website was $75. Y'all, this was a WordPress website that I did for this lady, literally just insane. Yeah. And so that's what things looked like. And then, so that was at the beginning, but as I progressed, I was kind of making small price jumps, so then $200 felt like I was charging a lot, then $500 felt like I was charging a lot. And so by the time that I joined DTP, I was charging $1,500 for full branding and full web. And mind you, at the time, like I knew what branding was, but branding in my mind was still colors, logos, fonts, that it was still the things, right? So that's what that looked like. And for me, coming from a military background and just having a business that wasn't working was not only, it wasn't just about the business, it was affecting how I felt about myself. And feeling like, why can I not get this thing to work after all of these years? And so I was just in a really low place, honestly, when I joined DTP.
I feel all of that, right? Like, why can't I get this to work? We see everyone else and it's working and they're winning, and it's like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
I feel that. So, okay, as you were going through this, like, this is your current state. Like, what's wrong with me? How did it feel trying to change that situation, trying to solve that issue?
It felt like, nails on a chalkboard because like literally I'm the type of person that I am. I don't know what personality it is, like is this type A or whatever, but I am a straight A student, and everything that I do, I'm like good at it. I study, and I'm bomb at it. And so the fact that I was doing this business and it wasn't working was so frustrating for me. I couldn't understand. So I was, watching webinars about how to build a funnel. So just doing all the things, and so I built this whole funnel out, and that funnel did not make any money. Okay. Like it didn't work. And so just all of these things I was trying to do was super frustrating, not understanding how to make that change,
Yeah. Just spinning your wheels, almost like Kim mentioned, or was it Hannah with the hamster wheel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your approach. So webinars, trying to consume the content to figure it out. What was the difference between that approach, building, watching a webinar, building a funnel based off of that, and, it not working, versus being in Design to Profit and having a proven process to go through?
Yeah. So one of the biggest shifts for me was the mindset thing, because I have a tendency to be a very practical person when it comes to business. And I was the type of person that when somebody said something about mindset, I was like, this is all fluff. I don't understand why you're talking about mindset to me. And I'm trying to get you to help me like make more money in my business. So That approach, your approach of including the mindset piece, and this is, I feel like a lot of people nowadays talk about mindset and not really understanding how that actually can affect your business. So that piece was huge for me. But also the other piece that was huge was the process. Because even though I had been doing this business for 6 years and I was getting people these beautiful things, I still didn't have a process. I knew that they would hire me and they would give me money to do a logo and maybe a website. And so I would just start designing. Literally, my first step was going to the Adobe Illustrator and to start like brainstorming ideas. Where these ideas are come from, who knows? I'm just making stuff up, right? And so it was just literally not having a process at all and not understanding that the transformation that I wanted to provide clients was never going to be there without me having this specific process that I learned in DTP.
Right. Okay. So that's a whole word.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Okay. Do you recall? And I get that too, like the mindset and the fluff, like it's kind of now mainstream mindset, right? But I get that, how it's like, what does this have to do with business?
Yep.
How does one relate to the other? So it was important for that to actually be like, that's where we start. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So you mentioned, and let me know in the chat, how many of you here, the first thing you do is design when you work with a client? And then also, Crystal, okay, I see y'all. Okay, Crystal, let me ask you, did you incorporate the one logo concept?
Yes. Yep, that's all I do now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I teach something called the one logo concept, in that we ain't sending you 3 options to choose from, 4, 5, 10, whatever, but you get one. And guess what? What is your revision rate for you, Crystal, when you do the one logo concept? How many revisions do you typically go through with a client?
Usually none at this point, but
keyword, guys, none.
Like there may be like a slight change or two, and usually if the client because I know the client so much, because I've implemented your process, I know them so much that usually, even if they do have a revision, I usually jump on a Loom video and explain further about it. And because I'm able to do that now, usually they're like, oh, I get it. Okay, no revisions, and so usually, yeah.
Yes. Exactly. No more unlimited revisions. We don't do that.
16 options, literally. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, so the beauty in that strategy is that it positions you as the expert. And then because of the process, the way we have it set up, the things that happen before you send those logos.
Yes.
It's a magical thing. Like, that's really the only way I can explain it. So, and I have similar results with that. Once I switched from multiple options to only one logo concept, my my 0 revision rate, like first time approval, it went to like 80%.
Yes.
And if there are any changes, it really is not a lot, because like Crystal said, because of the process, you know your clients better than they know themselves. Yeah. If that's not a part of your design process, you're actually making your job harder.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was able to up level the client experience by implementing that, because now it's like, instead of you just getting all these flat logos, 16 options that are overwhelming you, now you're like getting something that's a one logo concept, but you're having on mock-ups and, all of these things. It gives you the opportunity to do a professional presentation for people too. Absolutely.
And all of that presentation is part of the process, right? Like, this is what we do time and time and time and time again. Okay. So let's see. All right. Okay. So did I ask this, take me to the moment you realized it was working?
Oh, no, you haven't asked it yet.
Okay. So do you recall the moment?
Yes. Oh. So, Yes, there was a couple of different moments. So one moment was we were getting ready to get on a call, and I had joined the program in May, and we were getting ready to get on a call at the end of June so that we could go over, like, you know, what we were going to do for the next quarter and all of those things. And I remember just being so excited to get on the call because I was like, oh my God, I had literally already like 4x'd my monthly income at that point. And I was like, oh my God, like this is really working. Like, and at that point, mind you, I had only been through the modules about mindset and like, I think ideal client at that point. And so I was like, wow, this is seriously working. Okay. And so literally the next month after that is when I had my first 16K month. And that was like, I don't know what the
casually had a little 60, there's a little 16K month. I love how you just were like, so, you know, I did 16K and no big.
Yeah. And so it was wild to actually have that. But and so that's the monetary side of it. But the other piece of this is actually the way that I was able to show up on social media and show up powerful and know exactly who I want to talk to. I started getting people that were DMing me and literally saying like, oh my God, you are speaking directly to me. That was the first time that I felt like the expert on social media. You know, when I felt like going onto my platform and talking about things, people were listening to me and wanting to work with me because they felt like I was the expert, not just because they saw some pretty designs that I put out.
Yeah.
And so that was a change.
And when someone sees you as an expert versus just a designer,
yeah,
everything literally changes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So is there any, what would your advice be for, or number one tip be for anyone who was in your situation, barely, you know, maybe some months there was nothing, some months it was 200, some months it was, you know, 15, some 2K, but like no consistency. If someone's there and they want to get to where you are, what is your number one piece of advice for them?
My biggest thing is to be open to the fact that you don't know everything and that you cannot do everything on your own. Because I know, even just like Hannah was talking about and a couple of other people, I also have an MBA, you know, and so for years I was under this assumption, like, how can somebody help me do this? I already know business, I know all of these things, but obviously that wasn't working. Okay. And so I think at the end of the day, it's just being open to the fact that let somebody else help you that's already been there. Instead of spinning your wheels. Like, I wish I would have found, I've heard people say in 3 years, or they've just been doing it for a year. And I'm like, dang, just imagine where could I be if I wouldn't have waited 6 years, you know, to do this thing. But really it's about being open to somebody else helping you, and also understanding. I think it was Hannah that was talking about the fact that you cannot, or it might have been Kim, you cannot ask people to invest in you at a certain level if you have not invested in yourself at that same level, because that means you don't believe it, right? So why would they believe it?
Hold on. So
Lord,
you said that means you don't believe in your own offer or your own ability to create a transformation.
Yeah.
That
is so true, because how can you with confidence be on a sales call, discovery call, saying, here's my pricing, here's what I'm going to offer you, I'm going to offer you a transformation, and you haven't had a transformation yet because you haven't allowed someone to help you get that transformation. And even the way that I'm showing up now, this is why DTP is such a big thing for me, other than the monetary side of it, because it's the confidence that comes along with knowing that you're the expert now, understanding exactly who you want to talk to, how to talk to them, exactly, you bringing in all of the perspective that you had your whole life into all of your messaging. That stuff is like priceless, because literally that is the thing that has helped me not only with revenue, but it has helped my messaging. It has helped me. I'm writing a book, y'all. Okay. The pre-orders are out, you know.
Like what?
I mean, I'm getting asked to speak at places, and all of this, the root of this is DTP and the confidence and everything that I learned in this program. So sorry, y'all. If once y'all join, y'all see that I'm a little emo. So I'm trying to keep it together. But I will be forever grateful for sure. Like DTP for life.
Yes, that's how we roll, yo. Like we have a hashtag in the group that says I love it here.
Yeah.
What other where I don't know. Like the community literally that we have cultivated, and I say we because it was not just me. I can set the tone, but it really is about how am I showing up and how is that allowing other people to show up, and collectively it's this force, and I love it here.
Yes,
I posted that in the group yesterday. Like I got so emotional. I mean, on that last presentation, I've shared that slide with my family so many times, but I don't know what it was yesterday. Y'all got me. I was a whole hot mess. And but I just care so much. Here's why I don't sell, you guys, is because I am so wrapped up in serving, because I know if I serve my students, they will get results, which means I will get more students, which means I will make more money. So I don't worry about the money. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna get emotional. Let's wrap it up. Crystal, thank you so much. I truly appreciate just each and every one of you, but thank you so much for just being you and not being scared to show people what is possible, right? A lot of times we don't share our backgrounds. Like I shared with you guys, I never told anyone that ever before before yesterday, that I lived in a one-room shack with my family, and like we had no running water. We didn't even have a bathroom, you guys. Okay. Like what this is so beyond what I ever imagined. And I know this is just the beginning, and I truly care about every single one of my students' results and success. However, I'm not responsible. Each of the ladies that you've seen today, they took responsibility for their results. And that's why they've seen changes. That's why they've seen growth, because they took responsibility. They did the work. But I acted, my program, my process, my system, my framework is just the vehicle to help you get the result. So if you want the result, the vehicle is available. The ball is in your court. I would love to have you. Each and every one of you who are here have told me by way of your application that you want this so bad, and it's available to you if you're ready. If you're not ready right now, that's okay too. But it's available. If you have any questions, we're going to go ahead and switch gears to a Q&A. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Hannah, Kim, Maya. I appreciate all of y'all. The chat, like I see y'all over there. I gotta stay out of it because I don't know. I'm so emotional right now. I gotta stay out the chat. Y'all gonna make me cry. Okay.